Clayton, North Carolina is where we go next. Susan joins us there. Susan, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hey, Ken, how are you doing?
I am living the dream. Susan, how can I help?
Well, thanks for taking my call.
You bet.
I just recently resigned from working in children's ministry for 20 years. I'm looking into the possibility of how to go about starting a early education or a preschool in a low-income area, and wondered about grants or how I might go about pursuing that.
Yeah, well, there's two ways to fund a nonprofit, and I'm going to be very general here. Certainly the grants and the way you're going about that, doing your homework on that, grants can really help you get started, certainly in those early days. And then the other way is individual donations. So whether you're going to, get people to write checks or do fundraisers every year, the bottom line is that donations plus grants, that's how you get up and running, Now, there are nonprofits that you can create a product or a service if it makes sense and you sell that and you're still a nonprofit, but you're able to fund that way as well. There are some restrictions there, and you would do well to talk with an expert, a lawyer, and a nonprofit expertise, just to make sure that you understand everything that's involved. That's the answer. That's how you do it. But my question is, are you going to try to get this thing up and running pretty soon, and your goal is to pay yourself out of that as well?
The pay would be a plus. But I have an ulterior motive in that my granddaughter is in a situation where she is in a remote area. She has wonderful child care right now, but she will be going to kindergarten in 2 years. Mm-hmm. And so she does have a church, but the church itself does not have a preschool program. Mm-hmm. And just thinking about how I might help that church or maybe get them on board to maybe start a preschool.
I like that option better. I like the option of you talking to church into creating a program and hiring you to run it, so that you don't. Because here's the deal: my only concern is for you to create a nonprofit and try to pay yourself out of that and rely on that for your income is really risky. This is not an easy venture. And then the other thing I have, and I'm not trying to talk you out of this, I just think there's a better way maybe to consider. Why start a nonprofit? Why can't it just be for profit? The nonprofit creates all kinds of extra work and hoops, given the nature of the tax exempt status. That's essentially what this boils down to. Why a nonprofit versus, hey, my granddaughter has made me aware of a need. I've got an entrepreneurial spirit about this, and I'm going to try to solve it. Why nonprofit versus go to a church and go, hey, would you be willing to start a daycare system? A daycare program, if I help you launch it and run it, that's one way of going about it. They're already a nonprofit, but that's a lot of liability, and a church may go, I don't want to take that headache on. They may go, woohoo, let's do it. I certainly think it's a viable option, but you starting it as a nonprofit, why that versus you just starting daycare for your granddaughter and a few other people and see if you can make some money at it?
Well, yes, and I love that idea because I'm all about the ministry part and the teaching part, but the business part, I'm not so much. I don't want to do that.
So that's really great news, and B, it's bad news for your idea. Good news is you're aware. I don't want to run a daycare. That's not my jam. I'm not a business person. So I love your heart, and I'm really glad you called because I want to help you avoid a potential disaster, certainly frustration. Do you need income? You just quit your job.
Well, I'm a substitute teacher now, so I have part-time income. My husband still is working.
Okay, so your income is bonus, is what you're telling me.
Exactly, yeah.
And so the real problem that you want to solve is your granddaughter.
It is. That's what it's about. Mm-hmm.
Well, but why do we need to start a business that you don't even want to run? So the answer is this is not the right idea. Let's help out another way. Let's figure something out. Let's find some resources, maybe come up with another, type program, or What if your kids pay you and you watch her? If you've got a part-time substitute teaching job, days you're not substituting, could you watch the granddaughter?
Well, she's 3 hours away.
Oh, I wasn't aware of that. I'm sorry. It sounded to me like maybe she was close by.
Well, she's not.
Well, how are you going to start a business 3 hours away?
Well,
goodness gracious. Yeah, this is, no, Susan, you're amazing. Here's the deal. I want to encourage you. You got a great heart. No, you should not start a nonprofit. No, you should not start a business. Your granddaughter lives 3 hours away. You can be a helpful grandmama to her mama and dad, and whatever the situation is there. Try to help them come up with a solution. But this is not a good idea for you in any way, shape, or form.
Well, I would like to present that idea and get some parents maybe on board. So maybe I need to start with my daughter.
Yeah.
And maybe she's the one that needs to put the idea. And I'm willing to, with my experience, I'm willing to help with the curriculum and things like that.
Yeah, but again, you're 3 hours away. That's all you can do. You can provide advice and content. You can't be on the ground. Mm-hmm. So throw the idea out there and see what happens. And then if you're passionate about it as you're helping your granddaughter's situation, you might find, hey, I kind of want to do this in my area. So it might lead to something else, but you starting something in this place 3 hours away, no.